So what we then did was that we started to take a series of polls to find out what people were not able to access opportunities. After we realized that lots of people want access to quality education, postgraduate studies abroad, because Nigeria unfortunately recognizes foreign degrees more than they recognize degrees that are undertaken in Nigeria or even anywhere else in Africa. So we were then asking, so what's the biggest challenge to accessing this quality education in these universities abroad? And to our greatest surprise, we found out the majority of people said that it was access to information as opposed to knowing how to write the essays or or knowing how to do the application. They said that it was even knowing information about the universities, the scholarships available, that was the biggest challenge. And that was how we evolved into Flourish Opportunities Network, because we realized that we wanted to be able to reach a wider range of people who actually wanted to access opportunities across several different categories: internship, jobs, scholarships. Then we started inviting scholars that had won the scholarship as a way of trying to help people to understand exactly how to do the applications. So the first one we did, the first one ever, was in 2019, shortly before the COVID-19 pandemic, when people wanted to apply for the NHEF Scholars Program. I can't remember whether it was 2019 or 2020 now, but we organized some kind of boot camp where we invited Opara Chizaram and Elizabeth Wanweze, who eventually went on to become a Rhodes Scholar. Chizaram went on to become an NTU Global Scholar. She's currently studying law in NTU at the moment. So we organized a boot camp, supported people that wanted to apply. And yeah, some people that were part of the boot camp ended up getting the NHEF scholarship. So that sort of spurred us and encouraged us that this was something that was worth doing, um, that we could actually create a lot of impact and support more people if we continue to do this. Then the next thing we then did was that we tried to figure out how to do this on a larger scale across different types of scholarships. So we created a YouTube channel and we started inviting scholars. We invited scholars that have done the Erasmus scholarship. We invited scholars that have done the MasterCard scholarship. We invited scholars that have won fully funded PhDs with a BSc certificate. They didn't even have masters, fully funded PhDs in the US. We invited them to talk about how they did it, whether they had to write the GRE, their strategies to pass on the GRE. We even started to invite people that were even talking about how they passed the IELTS excellently, how they scored like some of the highest grades ever, providing tips to people that also want to write similar exams on how exactly they can do this. And the funny thing was that we were doing all this and we were sort of just out there to support people while we were trying to build out our own platform to create even more avenues to support people. So we started the big project of trying to compile the most comprehensive scholarship database in Africa in 2020, when we realized that majority of the platforms out there, like Opportunity Desk, After School Africa, Oya, Opportunity, I can go on and on because I literally know all of them. I even know some of their founders. Um, but what they were doing was that they were using an ad-based revenue model. So they wanted people to click, so more like clickbait. Oh, access this fully funded scholarship, and you click it, and maybe the scholarship applies only to Senegal or applies only to Gambia and Tunisia. So the more this happened, I realized that people were obviously not getting like the information that they needed to actually apply for relevant scholarship. I realized that in order to help people to effectively be able to get what they want, a level of personalization has to go into the way the scholarship is compiled. But because such platforms thrive on cost per mile, so they place an ad. So the number of people that see the ad determines if they make money from the ad. So they are not likely to try personalization because that would significantly reduce their ability to make money from the ads. So it's more like an impossible situation. They cannot personalize scholarship search because it reduces their capacity to make revenue from the platform. And if they're not making revenue from the platform, there's like no point for them to host the platform in the first place. So the more I kept researching to really try to find out, okay, I want to apply for a scholarship that covers master's degrees in the UK or in the US. How do I find it? I could not really find an answer. Assuming I'm an accountant and I'm looking for a fully funded master's in the US, I can't find a response from any of those platforms. And you can quote me anywhere. I said this, you can go and confirm it for yourself. So that sort of started the vision to build the most comprehensive scholarship database that is personalized to actually allow people to simply by indicating basic information like age, university, course of interest, and date of birth, and all of that, you can get like a list that goes through our entire database and produces scholarships that are specific to your profile, saving you tons of hours in research, as well as providing resources that support each and every single one of those results that you've gotten. So that was like the big vision for FON. And to a very large extent, we've gone very far in trying to like put it together in that way. Hopefully our platform will launch before the third quarter. We're currently working on it. But yeah, we've come a very long way. Then after we did that, we sort of created these platforms. We've also created like communities in different, as we created the communities, different countries started joining from the email list because a lot of the scholarships that apply to Nigerians also apply to a lot of other African countries as well. So we started getting a mix of different audience, and the platform has sort of grown, like the audience, the number of people on the community, the email list is all quite grown a lot since the last time. We started with zero number of subscribers on our YouTube channel back in the day. And right now we have almost 600 subscribers, and the number of viewers and number of watch hours on the page has also grown significantly. So essentially, what we have done is that we've created university communities because we realized that a lot of people that were already postgraduate, sometimes they have like different communities, different people, different circles of friends that are also supporting them in their postgraduate application process, which is great. But a lot of people still don't have those type of things. So we're also like reaching out to them and creating access to different materials and resources that can help them in the application. But we know for a fact from experience that it is always better to prepare from when you are an undergraduate for postgraduate studies than when you're done. I have friends that are lawyers working in some of the top law firms. They don't have time to write their essays. They don't have the time to apply for their transcripts. They also don't have the time to apply for recommendation letters. And the reason why they don't have the time is really because they don't make the time, not because they don't have the time. So we realized that what really needs to change for an application to start becoming successful is not the grade. It's not even the course of choice, it's the mind. It's the mind that needs to change. And the earlier a mind is changed, the better. We realize that it is better to start from when someone is an undergraduate to change your mind about how you think about opportunities and accessing opportunities in order for your own life to transform. To have this mindset that I am a leader, not that you're trying to be, you are a leader. And then because you see yourself that way, that you will start to do things that impact the lives of others. Leadership is not about position. Leadership is not about what you tell yourself or whether you are the SUG president or whether people hail you when you're walking around. Leadership is about the impact that you have on the lives of others with the little things that you do. That's what leadership is about. So by creating university communities that are affiliated with the FON brand, what we hope to do is to really help young people to start to prepare themselves for postgraduate studies right from their undergraduate level. And we have like several different programs that we're going to put in place to support that. We have tried in the past to like provide a lot of these things free of charge while we're still creating a platform that people can pay a subscription on to be able to access. But we've realized that people don't value free things, unfortunately, especially in Nigeria. People do not. Like we've been paying a lot of money to host a lot of these scholars. We pay money, People come around because we have to like host the webinar on a paid Zoom premium account and all of that. Then we have people that work with us that are also being paid, that go into the whole work of trying to ensure that these things happen. And you know what? People don't show up. Very interesting. Like you have like an entire community of like lots of people that claim that they want to access opportunities. And then you invite the scholar that has gotten the exact opportunity that this person wants. And he can't be bothered to show up. And we know the reason why. The reason is because there was nothing that he had committed that allows him to feel like, oh yeah, I have a subscription on this, so I might as well also like be around and use it. So that's what happened. And that's why we decided to change our approach to the things that we do. So if you want to be a part of the FON student network and be able to access all the different programs that we're going to be offering through our several different channels and partners, there's going to be like a membership fee that comes with it. We wanted to be as upfront as possible about this because in the past, when we tried to do it the other way, where we just sort of do it by ourselves, people don't show up. Just like right now, they invited me to speak to you guys, and then a lot of people didn't show up. It's part of the things we're talking about. If majority of the people on your group had paid to be part of this webinar, I am very sure that a lot of them would show up. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Exactly. But what I'm trying to tell you guys now is actually worth a lot of money because nobody told me when I was starting out. Nobody told me anything. Like I have to figure it all out all by myself. So the first thing that you need to know is that there is no magic to getting scholarships or to getting opportunities. Forget anybody that is telling you that they will double this one. You give them 100K and suddenly you will get into Stanford or you get into Oxford. They are all lying. I can tell you that for a fact, they're all lying. There is a core feature in every single person that is successful in those type of things. I'm telling you this thing not just as a Chevening scholar because I've won several different other scholarships. When I'm sure, I think Chisholm will should like go through my profile so that you guys can see all the other different scholarships I've won. I'm not going to go into that. But like I'm telling you this thing from experience, supporting people that have been doing applications for a very long time. The most fundamental thing about someone that is going to be selected for that type of competitive application is their attitude towards life. There's a concept of the moving train. A moving train. The thing about a moving train is that if you place a car in front of the moving train, what do you think will happen?
It's going to crush the car.
Exactly. The moving train will crush the car and keep going. That's the concept of the moving train. So essentially, each of these guys, what they're looking for in each candidate is whether you have the characteristic of a moving train. If you have the characteristic of a moving train, it doesn't matter whether they select you or not. You are going to be successful. And they will feel bad that they cannot affiliate themselves with your brand when you're successful. That's how it works. Anybody else that's telling you something different is lying to you. So that's why I said that what has to change is the individual. It's not the grade. I didn't have a first class. I did not. Right? I did not. And a lot of people that I know that didn't have a first class have gone on to win some of the best scholarships in the world. It's not about your grades. It's about you as an individual. What is it that you call value? What type of person are you? Are they able to look at you and feel like in the next 5 years, this guy is going to be very, very influential? This guy is going to be very successful. Are they able to tell that from just reading through the application? If they're able to tell that, so it's the person that has to change. It's not the grade, it's not the course, so it's not the background, it's the individual that has to change. Your mind. Once you can change your mind, you can change the world. So I'm going to, before I circle back to the membership fees and all of that, how to work. So let me go forward now to tell you guys a bit about how to manage competing interests. Because as an undergraduate, when you're also thinking about getting some leadership experience while you're on campus, while also like working hard on your studies, it can be very tricky, which is like where the whole work life issue comes up. So let me start by giving examples for myself. I was a member of the literary club, the Wokike Literary Club. I was one of the leaders.
Very smaller in the world.
I was writing fiction.
What are
And,
we
sorry,
to the bag and wash your stuff?
Toba,
Just like the bag was clean.
Toba,
You know that we lost the bag.
Toba, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. So I was writing literary fiction in the early 2014, 2015, 2016. All I wanted was to be published in any of the major literary journals. It would have meant the world to me. It would have meant the world to me. So I was writing, I was also like studying law in my undergraduate degree, and it was very tough. Like studying law in first year and second year, you can ask, can ask Chisholm. It's very tough. Like you have to read a lot, lots of cases, thought law. That was very scary and all that. But what I did was that in my first year, I mostly just study. I didn't really have time for anything else because I was then thinking of making a first class. So I just studied and studied and studied. So for those that are studying and studying without doing anything else, please, if you can study, please study. Having good grades is good. I'm not even going to lie. Having good grades is good. Right. But all I'm saying is that it's not just grades that matter, but having good grades is good. So in my second year, I started also exploring other things beyond just academics. After I failed to get the CGPA for first class, the 4.5, I think I had like a 4.4, 4.3. I just felt like I'm not sure this thing is going to work. So I decided to do politics. After losing the election in second year, I now crawled back into my shell. I started studying again. I ended up making the best result I've made in my entire life in that year. I made a 5.0, clean result, all A's, because I was feeling so bad after the election. I needed a win. I needed to feel like I could win at something. So I put in all my energy into studying, and that's the result that came out of it. But even while doing that, I was also still very active in politics. I was attending meetings. I was friends with the SUG president. I was part of a lot of committees in the department. Like I was starting to like take on responsibilities to like figure out like what kind of leadership I was going to have, what kind of influence I could have. I even got involved with the Lion Sports magazine at the time. I was part of their editors. When they edit each of the magazine, I also look at the articles that are submitted. And they were publishing this magazine across campus, both in Enugu campus in UNN and also the Nsukka campus. So after second year, in my third year, I had almost made peace with the fact that I wasn't going to make a first class. But that's just me. Please, if you feel very strongly about it, please, by all means, go for it. Right. But I felt like it was just me. I felt like I wasn't sure I was going to make this. So I decided to focus on trying to like explore um, other leadership activities. I started I worked on a newspaper together with some colleagues, a university newspaper, worked on a lot of my own personal writings. I wrote a lot in my third year. I eventually got published in a couple of international literary journals. Then in trying to like get published, my writing became better because I was improving every single time. And it sort of helped me a lot. I spent a lot of time studying in the library. Then I would go back home, I would rest. And then when I wake up, I would do other things that are not like academic related. I would sort of do my own things, what I want to do. So that was sort of how I tried to balance it. I was in the choir from first year to final year, while trying to combine all these things. So usually in the evening, after I've come back from choir practice, I would then do my own things and try to wake up as early as possible so that I'll have enough time to catch up with whatever I studied the day before there's a new class that happens in the morning. So, but in my second year, it was really intense because I had a very strict calendar. I would go to the library and stay during the day after lectures. By 4 o'clock, I'll go back and sleep after having lunch. I will sleep from 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the night. That's 12 a.m. In the morning, like early in the morning. And I will be awake studying from that 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. I did that consecutively for the entire first semester of second year. So that sort of bore proof in the result that I talked about earlier. So I studied a lot in second year, but I also like tried to make time when I wasn't studying. Maybe during the weekends, I would just like sort of do my own thing, go for choir practice. I even went to Benue for a choir member's wedding. Like I tried to like also be part of school. I wasn't just studying. I tried to be part of school. I tried to get involved in different things, but I also really tried to ensure that my grades were doing fine. My grades were doing fine. What I promised myself was that I was never going to get less than a 4.0 in any semester, irrespective of what was happening. Because in my fourth year, I was trying to publish a literary journal. I was then the president of the literary club. So I missed a lot of classes. I even missed some quizzes. But I really, really worked very hard to ensure that I did not have like a result that was lower than 4.0. Like even when we went for the Christmas break, I had already summarized some notes. So that made it easier to study. When others were like busy trying to catch up, I had already studied a lot of the things that they wanted to catch up on. So that was very useful. It really helped me, right? I made my own notes and I studied those notes, and then I focused on the other things that were not academics. So that was sort of how I was able to try to find a balance between the work itself, that's the study, and then my personal life and the things that mattered to me. Because the things that mattered were the things that gave me a lot of joy and happiness. Yes, I enjoyed studying law. I enjoyed arguments and all of that. But there were other things that I was interested in. I was interested in writing poetry. I was interested in writing prose. I was interested in meeting people that were writing and creating like a community around it. I was also interested in like meeting people that were art oriented, whether it's people that were singing or dancing. There were even people that were playing guitars. There were a group of them then in UNN that I used to go along and sing with. They played their guitar and I sang along and all of that. Like there were a lot of interesting things that I tried to do that were not academic oriented. But by doing those things, it helped me to clear up my mind. So I was never really thinking or worried about my studies. I simply saw it as something that I had to do. And when I did it like putting my entire dedication in doing it. And when I wasn't doing it, I didn't think about it at all. So that was sort of how I did it, that I was able to like manage the two of them consecutively, efficiently. That was sort of what I did. There were times when I had to go for competitions, went to Abia, we went to several different states. We even went to Benue for a competition once. And the one that was really interesting was when I went to Nasarawa for a client counseling competition in 2016. I went there, classes were going on. I went to my colleague. We were there for like 3 days. We represented UNN. Yes, we didn't win, but it was an opportunity, to also like build out that public speaking, like being confident about yourself and things like that. I don't regret any of those things. If I go back to uni, if I can go back in time, I'll still do it the same way all over again. I don't regret any of it. So that's just what I would say to each and every one of you, especially since you're still undergraduates. Um, if you have extracurricular activities that you're doing that gives you joy, please, by all means, do them. But when you study very hard. Give yourself a target. Say, I'm not going to go below a 4.0. Give yourself that target and ensure that you never go below it. As long as you have that in place, you can comfortably do anything else that you want to do and still come out very successful. I'm telling you this from my own experience. Right now in university, studying innovation management and entrepreneurship um, at the Nottingham Business School here in the UK. I also have to switch my time between working on my master's degree, working on my law firm, because I have a digital law firm, and working on Flourish Opportunities Network, which is also like one of my startups. So switching my time in between them is very tricky. But I can tell you with confidence that every single module that I have taken, I've come out with a distinction, every single one. So it wasn't because I was not paying attention to my startup. I was paying a lot of attention. There are days when I'm awake all night trying to figure out something. trying to figure out how we can build this, trying to figure out a more efficient way to do something else. But it's just about that balance. When I'm writing my essays for the module, I give it my best. I do it completely. I don't think about anything else. When I'm in class attending lectures for my modules, I do it completely. I don't do anything else. I just do just that at that moment in time. So what that does for me is that it helps me to retain most of what the lecturer is saying about different topics. And so by the time I'm writing the essays, I'm able to reflect what they're saying in the essays. And that helps me to have that gives me a better chance than other people in getting the distinction. So the second thing too is that I'm strategic. I know that it's possible that I may not get distinctions in all my essays. So I ensure that I always try to do my best in the presentations. So if you do your best in the presentations, even if you have a commendation high in the essays, if you combine the two scores, it will always be a distinction. So it's sort of a combination of strategy and being present-minded. If you have your studies, be present. Just focus on the studies. Don't think about anything else. Don't think about your girlfriend. Don't think about your parents. Just focus on that studies. If you have studies to do, focus on the studies. If you have work to do, focus on the work. By being present every single time you have a different task to do, you're far more likely to be more effective and to have a better work-life balance at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my short advice to you guys, because I know that you're all still undergraduate, and I remember what it was like when I was also in university. I struggled a lot trying to balance these things out by myself. I largely survived because I had very good friends that were also very smart people, like some of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life. I met them in university, both in UNM and NUTM, where I studied technology. Like some of the smartest people I met all of them in school. So the type of friends you keep can also really impact the way that you comprehend when you're studying. If you have friends that are really smart, they challenge you to think differently. Because friends, when someone is your friend, the person sort of sees you as who you're meant to be and not who you really are. So I've had friends that I told them that, oh, I didn't think I was going to be able to do this. I didn't think I would be able to run for that election. The other candidate has the support of the LOSA president, blah, 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 blah. And my friend was like, and so what? That he believes that I can do it, that he even believes I can win. I did not win, but I lost with 7 votes. And the guy literally could not believe that I would give him that much of a run for his money. I had no godfather backing me. Absolutely no godfather. It was just me. It was just me. I went round from hostel to hostel, speaking to people, remembering names, campaigning, and all of that. So sometimes you need really good friends to support you in your journey. You need really good friends that believe in you. Really good friends. People that you will tell that you failed the course, and they will tell you that they are confident that you'll pass it the next time. Not people that will tell you that, are you sure that lecturer would allow you to pass this time around? You don't need those type of people around you. You need people that believe in you. If you say that you want to apply for a competition and you want to go to Switzerland, they tell you that I will stay up with you. We're writing that essay together. I had a friend that had a competition to apply for, an arbitration competition to go to Germany. I went to his house. It was during the break period. During the break period and all that. I went to his house. We wrote that essay together, and he got in. He got in. They invited him for the interview. He just eventually did not travel for one reason or the other, but he got in. So you need those type of friends that challenge you, friends that are not jealous because you are trying to get an opportunity. Friends that will even tell you, oh, I saw this other opportunity. I think this one really fits what you're interested in. Those type of friends, keep them very close. People that actually genuinely care about you. People that genuinely care about you. Those are the type of friends you need. Have those type of friends and be very, very strict with your time management. If it's time to study, tell your girlfriend that it's time to study. I will call you later. And it's not like, oh, you don't love me, you don't miss me. Forget all those things. Because if you carry over, is she going to follow you and carry over? Everybody should be calming down. So if you have to study, study. If you have to be up at night, be up at night. Turn off your phone. Turn off your phone in this digital age of WhatsApp and notifications. Put your phone on plane mode. Like I know you're laughing. It's the truth now. Put your phone on plane mode. Put your phone on plane mode. Don't allow anybody to distract you. If you have to study, focus on it. If you have work to do, focus on it. Every single thing you're doing, be present. In this digital age, those that will be the winners are those that are able to be present, mentally present. You cannot win if you're not mentally present. You cannot think clearly if you're not mentally present. You cannot. Your mind cannot be on different things. You're thinking about Davido's Timeless album while you're in class. You're not going to be able to even pass the course at that rate. You cannot be thinking about this type of things. If you are in class, be in class. If you're not in class, you can relax, jaye with the boys or whatever. But if you're studying, studying. Just study, nothing else. A good way to avoid temptation, something that I used to do very often, during exam periods, I take my phone home and then I just use like a Nokia Touch. No WhatsApp whatsoever. And people are like telling me that, oh, that what if they send material on the group, blah, 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 blah. And I tell them I have an email. That my best friend was also studying the same course with me. So yeah, that my best friend will send it to my email. That's what I tell them. That as for me, this is what I'm going to use for this exam. That I'm going to use this Nokia Touch. I'm not going to entertain any type of chat or any type of Instagram, any type. I don't do it. I did that throughout my first year, second year, third year till I graduated. That was how I did it. So don't worry about any material that they're saying you're not going to see. If you have friends on the group, they will forward it to your email. Don't worry about it. I'm just telling you the strategies that I used to, right? This is just the strategy that I use. They work for me. Small phone, no noise, no distraction. Very simple. So thank you. I think I'll take questions and all that, like reaction from you guys. Before then, we'll talk about the forum membership and how it will work. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the great session. So I believe everyone on the call, I'm sure you did not pick just one thing. You pick like a lot of things. So in summary, Mr. Allstar discussed with us like how to balance school with life, and then the most important thing that stood out where you have to first change your attitude towards life. You have to be a moving train so that you can crush things and keep moving. And then you also have to like improve your network, because your network is your net worth. So you have to make sure that the friends that you're surrounding yourself with are those that are smart and they have positive vibe, and then they want good thing for you, just the same way you want good thing for them. So friendship is what I call it, is meant to be mutual. You get right? It's not meant to be one-sided. And then be mentally present in everything you are doing. So focus is quite important. You can you can do a lot of things, but make sure that whenever you are doing one thing, you are focusing. If you are girlfriend. If you are reading, read. And then if you are swimming, swim. Don't be swimming and be thinking about your book. So I guess that rounds it up. So if you have like questions for him, this free space that you can use this medium to actually ask a question. Thank you very much, sir, for the great session. Okay. Do we have any question? Okay, don't we have any question? Like he has covered everything already. Like, is that good? Hello.
Hi, Ola. Did anybody have a question?
Okay, I don't think anybody significant.
Good evening. I have a question, please. Can you hear me?
Yeah. That day we can hear you.
All right. Okay, actually, like she understands the old school professional. There are some cases where, okay, probably after the old reading and all sure. There are some cases that are not getting your desired results, and then you're just feeling like, okay, after all my stress and all, what am I not to do? And what am I not to cover? Even if you say you covered probably the whole syllabus, then you're sure. There's some cases that you just have to fuck up, like it just come unexpected. You don't even know where the problem is coming from. Then you're just down like, I'm just tired. And I don't even know how to fix up and all. Most cases when you feel like that, how do you come about? Do you understand the question?
Yeah,
Hello. Okay.
yeah. Definitely, I completely understand the question. So
Okay.
what I would say to that, that oftentimes, we can only control our effort. We can't control the results. But what we can do, that, like I said, you can control your effort, not the results. So it's more like telling yourself that I must do everything within my power to ensure that I put in my best. But what the outcome would be is ultimately not up to you anymore. But in order to be able to put in your best, go and meet those people in your class, because the same way you're saying that, oh, you're doing your best and you're not getting the result you want, there are people in the same class that are also getting the result they want. So the smart thing to do is go and meet them. Whether it's a girl that you don't like because you feel like she's feeling herself, swallow your pride. If it's a boy that's even checked you before and the boy is gathering all the A's, don't worry. Don't say yes to his checking box. Kuku, sit down and ask him, what is it that you're doing differently in the papers that you're submitting? Like if you're answering a question, like you can just say, okay, this is a past question now. If you're answering this question, how would you approach it? How would you approach it? 80% of the times, people are actually willing to help if people will just ask. If people will just ask. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. It's actually the truth. It is that simple. Ask. You can even take the same question and go and ask a lecturer. You don't even have to ask a fellow student. Also, all this, like last year, I wrote this thing and I eventually got a grade I did not like, but I really want to work hard. I really want to improve myself. And I just wanted to know, like, if you ask this type of question in the exam, like, how would you expect us to answer it? You will get a lot of insight from them. What the girl that made first class in my set used to do that I never did because I did not like the lecturers was that she used to go to the lecturers. She would solve the past question and she would take it to them and ask them whether, if this was an exam scenario, whether this was going to be correct or wrong. And then they will correct her, and then they will correct her. But then, in addition to them helping her to understand how to structure her responses, what she was also doing was that she was planting a seed in their mind. Because usually in the department, you have to argue. Like sometimes when they bring up grades, the lecturers will have to like make a decision whether they're accepting that these people should make first class or not. Like sometimes it happens like that. They deliberate those results, right? So if somebody is so serious that she has probably met almost all the other lecturers to ask them one question or the other, either to ask them advice in issues on life or to ask them advice on how to go about a course. So they would already have an impression about the person. So it is easy for them to argue in their favor. Do you understand? Like, even if that type of person had a carryover, you are far more likely to find a lot of lecturers that will argue in their favor that this student is serious. I strongly think there was something wrong with the script. This student could not have made a carryover. Exactly. So that's just how it works. Meet people, those that are doing it, that seem to be making the first class, making the 5.0, 4.0. Like, ask them, you that wrote the same question last semester, how did you do it? As you're asking them, don't just like ask them casually. Bring your notes, write down their response, or use your phone and record what they're saying so they can go back and listen to it. Learning requires humility. We're not here to drag whose father is driving Benz. We're here to understand, okay, you're doing this way, is working for you. So let me understand how it's working so that I can also apply it. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Ladi.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Can I ask
Yeah.
another one?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, all right. You said when you were during your undergraduate years, you were taking up other stuff. What do you have to say? Like, maybe you said it, or probably I missed it. What do you have to say to undergraduates now, trying to do other stuff? Like, a digital skill, then trying to do well to with education, like with the education, the academics and all. What do you have to say?
I would say that skills are becoming increasingly very important. Like a degree was more valuable. Sorry to say this, but a degree in Nigeria was more valuable 5 years ago than it is today. That's my own personal opinion. Looking at the way things have been progressing so far, the strikes, some universities in the US are no longer even accepting Nigerian degrees because they feel that because of the strike, the gap in education learning process, that the quality of the result that comes out of the process is no longer to be trusted. That's actually like it's a reality. You can browse it, you see it online. It's something that is happening. So not having a skill is actually like you undermining your chances in life. Like it's no longer like, oh, maybe something I should do or something. It's now like mandatory that everybody has a skill. It's now mandatory. You get that's part of the reason why what we're trying to do at F1 is so important because we know that you must have a skill. You must. If you want to survive, you come out and you don't have a job. There's 44% unemployment. Don't you live in Nigeria? So what will happen? If you're waiting for somebody to employ you into like an official setting, if you have a skill, whether it's digital marketing, graphic or something, you will be surviving while waiting for the job, isn't it? So that's my take on that. You have to like actually do something extra. Extracurriculars are no longer they're no longer something that you can choose. It's become mandatory because of the nature of the way Nigeria has become. So how you can balance it effectively is to split your time in between different things. Give yourself like 4 hours every day for studying without joking with it. If it's 4 hours, it's 4 hours, and it has to be consistent. By doing that, you free up the rest of your day to do other things. So that's what I think that you can do that will be very efficient, and it works. If you're consistent, it works very, very well. If you're consistent, it will work. The good news is that you don't have to be in the library. You can be with your laptop. You can even be with your phone. Today that there is digital materials, like online materials and stuff, you can be anywhere really. You can be in your room. But the most important thing is that discipline. If I'm saying I'm studying every day, class closes by 1:30, I'm studying from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Even if Tunde said that new shop has opened, that's where we're going to eat chicken. Tell him that we'll go in the night. We'll not go in the afternoon because I'm studying. You get, if you can be that disciplined, even if your girlfriend is saying, oh, that this happened or that happened, you tell her I'm studying, we'll do it in the night. So once you have consistent with that time of your studies, you're going to retain a lot. And if you're able to retain a lot, you're going to have more time to do other things. So that's my take on that. Lade, does that help?
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Very much, Adelaide. So do we have any question? Wait, the only girl is not the one asking question. Guys, do we have questions? Like we only get like this kind of opportunities. I don't know. Like now you have it. Let's just make the best use of it, right? So
I don't know because I've been saying that is the guy that is calling the girl to the store, but I did not mean it like that too. Even Ladeka, boyfriend to say let's go hang out. A boyfriend too say I'm studying. So I don't know whether that's the reason or just in case. Like it's not like that. It's both ways, right? Yeah,
okay.
both ways.
Once it is 8:26, I think it is safe to assume that we don't have any more question from anybody. Right.
Yeah, I guess we can say that.
Okay, I think I have it.
Okay, I have a question. Please go ahead.
We are allowed to ask questions now. I've forgotten. Okay. Talking about like GRE. I'm an engineering student, so and I currently have like plans to like take GRE. I have like what was the name of this Kaplan book already, like one. But I need a lot of resources. I can't buy everything. So how best do I have to like prepare for GRE? What are the things that I have to like put in place to ensure that I am well prepared, number one, and then I have like good chances to get like, how do I call it, scholarship opportunities, because I kind of feel like I learned that the admission, getting an admission is different from getting a funding. So what are the things I have to like start doing? Because I'm in my year 4, I'm currently doing my IT. So how do I prepare for GRE in respect to getting graduate admission and then funding?
Okay, that's a very good question. A question that I think will be very useful to a lot of people that watch this video subsequently. So the first thing that you can start to do is beyond your academics, what you're really doing at FON is a very good example of like leadership, supporting other people to also access opportunities, internships, and things like that. I think is very useful. The second thing that you can do is to ensure you come out with a very good grade. A good grade in engineering is very useful. Have like a high 2.1, 4.0 and above. Or if you can get a first class, yeah, that would also give you an edge. Yeah, the third thing that you can do is start to write some publications in international journals, or even like departmental journals. As long as you publish one of your lecturers, there's also like maybe a senior lecturer or a professor or something like that. What that thing just does is that there are boxes that those guys have to tick when they are accessing people for postgraduate admission and then funding. Having a minimum of 3 publications is usually the standard for people that can get fully funded PhDs from the BSc level without even having to do masters. I know a lot of people like that, right? So if you can publish just three in recognized journals, whether you publish with OAU, University Journal of Engineering and Management, and all of that, once you can do that, by the time you're making your application, you would already have research experience. Do you get? So that's what it helps you to do. And then, of course, for writing the GRE in the FON community, we have like Drive that contains some materials, and we also have like scholars that have written these exams that come up to talk about the strategies that they use. So I think Chisom can even share the video with you about the GRE, how the process works, what the guy did differently that allowed him to score very high, and all of that. But yeah, as time goes on, we even talk more about this in the FON UNILAG community as well. I hope that just gives you like a bit of insight on what to do to prepare.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Okay, so time is like
Yeah. Let me talk a bit about the FON membership just shortly before we go. Chisom, can you share the screen, please? Can we all see the screen?
Yes.
Ola? Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. So what we try to do is that we try to like minimize the cost as much as possible. 3,000 naira is the cost of shawarma or dinner with it. It's probably like less than the cost of a bottle of wine from most places in Nigeria. But it's like an investment that someone can make as an undergraduate to like access all the opportunities that all the members of the FON university community are going to be able to access. And so what we did was that we sort of know that there are people have like different budgets and all hands are not equal and all that. So what we did was that we created basic plan, a premium plan, and a different type of plan as well. So that depending on what a person is able to afford, the person can be able to like still be a part of the FON community and access all the benefits that come with it. So a key part of what we're going to be doing in the FON university communities is boot camps. The thing about boot camps is that we've had people that have experience in writing essays. We have boot camps, we have people that have experience in things like LinkedIn optimization. Personally, I've even gotten a job offer as a product manager from just my LinkedIn post. But these are all the things that I can show people how to do if those people actually value what we're trying to do. Most people that are serious would know that the basic plan, whatever cost you see there, is just a token of your commitment. It doesn't actually cover the value of what is actually involved in it. So the reason For this reason, I and my team are not very keen on trying to like follow up a lot of people to say, oh, we really think this will be good for you. We really think you should pay. In many ways, I would say don't pay if you think that you're not going to get any value. Usually people that are value minded are people that will not even like will jump on the opportunity and would even ask if they can invite their friends. People that are generally not concerned so much about this type of things are generally not the type of people that we should actually be too bothered with, in all honesty. Because if I had the opportunity as an individual when I was younger to pay this amount and understand all these things and not have to go through all I went through, I would have paid double the amount if I had the opportunity. So, but you guys now have the opportunity to learn from people that have been in your very shoes and have gotten to the places that most of you also want to get to. The good news about the F1 community is that we have a very large network of scholars scattered all over the world. So that means that you have like a lot more people, mentors that you can speak with, mentors in different fields and industries that you can relate with based on the specific course that you're studying. So this is a premium plan, just reflects a bit more content than the first one, regarding the benefits that someone that decides to take this one will be able to get. So the preparation resources for the GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS are also included in this plan. Then you can get access to our fully funded scholars as mentors, just like I was saying earlier. Then there's personalized accountability reminders. The biggest challenge sometimes is that when you're so caught up with school and caught up with work, you don't actually make progress on your application. Having someone that can call you like every week to say, okay, you started this application for this internship in France, how is it going? Or maybe you've gotten the internship and maybe they expect you to pay for your flights, but they're paying for accommodation and all that. Like, do you want to do a GoFundMe? If you want to do a GoFundMe, how are you thinking about it? How much do you want to raise and all of that? So that's what the whole consultation and accountability is going to be about. Yeah. So this is the ultimum plan. This was Chisholm's idea. I don't know why she called it ultimum plan. Maybe she likes Transformers, Optimus Prime. But yeah, it has a lot of the things that also contain the basic plan and also some extra things as well. So like you can see there, there's a personal review of your application documents. If you have CVs and essays that you want to use to apply for something, we're going to edit every single one of them. Now, the best part of these plans is that it covers an entire session, 2 semesters. Chisom, is that accurate?
Yes, you are.
Exactly. So it covers 2 semesters. So it's not like you pay every session, every semester. No. Any payment you make, whether it's for the basic plan or for the other plan, it covers the both semesters, right? So what this just does is that first, it keeps you committed. Secondly, it gives you access. Committed because what we pay for is what we value. There's this saying about you put your money where your mouth is. Once somebody makes a payment for something, the likelihood that they will show up for the boot camp is higher than if they did not pay for it. So we don't want to invite some of the most brilliant scholars from different countries, and then you will not show up after we've gone on to actually go and invite the person, and the person left their own schedule to come and speak to you. So we don't want the person to feel like they're wasting their time. And at the same time, we want you to be serious about the value that you're getting so that you're actually taking something home and actively trying to apply what you're learning from these things. So this is just like a summary of the boot camps that are going to be included in the plans. There is a CV drafting, there's the essay and application letter, there's how to source for opportunities and scholarships. Very, very important. I'll teach you how to do that. There's how to pick the right graduate studies and career path, how to finance your study abroad experience. Very, very important. Some of us that are abroad are in a better position to tell you the type of jobs available that you can do to support yourself and whether it is going to be something that can work or not. Then how to position yourself for global opportunities, writing professional emails, and all of that. All these things are bootcamps that will be covered as part of the different payment plans. So yeah, so please take down the shared screen. Let's wrap up. Thank you. So yeah, like I was saying, This just sort of summarizes a lot of the value that we're looking to provide to each and every university in Nigeria. So by trying to like create university communities across each of the 75 federal universities in Nigeria, what we're trying to do is to make access to opportunities closer to the average undergraduate that is probably not part of a bourgeoisie class that can apply to Harvard, get in, and their parents will write the check. Most people in Nigeria are not like that. So we're trying to lessen this gap by helping them to create that, to have access to these type of opportunities. Finally, before I go, I want you all to know that right now, because of our commitment to ensuring that everyone has access to opportunities, I and my team have partnered with alumni of different universities to offer scholarships to undergraduates across all the 75 federal universities. So how we've done this is that, for example, we've spoken to alumni in UNILAG that are willing to give scholarship of 50 to 100K annually to students in different departments. So sometimes the alumni will choose that the scholarship will be given to any students from their department, and sometimes they will choose that it can be open to any UNILAG student studying in any department. Yeah, and we've already have like a lot of people that have made commitments. We have commitment in UNN, we have commitment in ABU Zaria, we have commitment in UNIDEN, and we have commitment in UNILAG as well. And only members, that's paid members of the FON university communities, are going to be eligible to apply for the scholarships. So I just wanted to make that very clear. There are going to be scholarships worth millions of naira available for people to apply and get access to. But again, it's only going to be available for application to people that are paid members of the FON university communities. I'm saying this because I know that the FON campus ambassador for UNILAG is here, so that you can go back and speak to your people, just in case some people are thinking that, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm a paid member or not. It does matter a lot, because we are going to give it a timeline. After that timeline, once the applications for the scholarship start, no, even if they are begging and they're kneeling down and calling their ancestors, we will not allow them to pay for the membership fees again. Because to us, they'll be paying because they want to apply for the scholarship, not paying because they actually value the community and want to get access to everything that we're talking about. Ola, am I communicating?
Yeah, yes. Like I perfectly understand. Like I perfectly understand everything you've said. Like value is quite important, and then anything that is not built on value will probably just crumble the next, like in the next minute. Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right.
I think that yes, you are trying to invest in the students, so they also have to like show some level of commitment. I've experienced it too in some other places.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine.
most of
Like
these things is just administrative costs. Like it does not even cover the value we're providing by any margin of imagination.
yeah,
It really
yeah,
doesn't. It's administrative
yeah.
costs. You want to provide those people. Sometimes you pay them an honorarium, and you want to be able to provide access to a lot of boot camps. So all of these things, you're still going to pay those people. You're still going to pay the people that are organizing the event. There's a lot of cost. But we're just like, okay, you're the person that wants to get this value, that wants to better your life, make a commitment. That's our position. The past, when
Yes.
we've done it, people that did not make a commitment did not value the effort that was being put in to actually put these things together. They did not value it.
Yes.
That's why.
People will get free courses on Coursera and then they don't finish it because it's free.
Exactly. Exactly. But once they pay, they will finish it. So that's how it is. All
Yeah.
right. So Chisom, please wrap up. This is me. I'm done. Real pleasure meeting you guys from UNILAG. My name is Osita. You can follow me on LinkedIn at Osita James Uche, and I'll follow you right back once I see that you're an FON member. I'll follow you right back. Feel free to send me a message on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'll respond immediately. Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you very much, sir, for the for the value packed session. So thank you very much. We hope to see you one more time. Like we hope to continue seeing you, not just one more time. And I hope we all like enjoy the session, especially Olalade. She was engaging throughout. And then Banjo, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. Who again? Okay. Bye, Joe. And thank you very much, Chisom, for actually providing us this platform. She's the host for today. Yeah, now. Can we have like your social media handle? Is that fine?
Yes, I'll share it with you after this session. I'll share it with you so you can post it on the group chat.
Very much.
Yeah, so I said you should make a closing statement to wrap up the session.
Okay, we've heard a lot today from Osita and from Lekon. Thank you very much, Lekon, for pulling this through. You've been one of like the best ambassadors so far I've worked with. You've done a lot to make UNILAG campus what it is right now, and we appreciate your efforts. Thank you, Osita, for coming out for the time for the value packs discussions. So thank everyone for listening. I'll send the record of this session to Liko, and hopefully you will share with every other member. I hope for those listening, you've heard enough. You've heard something that you can implement in your academic life, and hopefully to also be an FON member. We are really so excited to work with every one of you, and we hope that at the end, our wonderful testimonies will be all around social media about how we won the scholarship, this internship, and all that. Thank you.
Bye.